Hi there, good afternoon. You've tuned in to ET Now. This is Market Fatafat with me, Cheryl D'Souza. Along with me, I have Ankita joining in as well. Good afternoon to you, Ankita, and looks out to be a better afternoon when it comes to the benchmark indices, isn't it? Because we are holding on to positive territory, both the Nifty as well as Sensex. And apart from that, take a look at what the broader markets are doing because they are shining pretty bright in trade. If you look at small cap index, Ankita, that's seen a recovery of over 1% from the day's lowest point, and they are outperforming the benchmark indices. There you go, 8% uptick coming in for the small cap index. Nifty mid cap index also holding on to good gains, but the only sore point in today's trading session, and it's needless to say, is the IT index actually. IT index is the one that is seeing sharp declines, but no doubt, try to recover from day's lowest point. 2% downtick is where the IT index is perched at because almost top 10 out of the top 10, almost top 7 losers on the Nifty are from the IT pack alone. So yes, IT index under pressure. Realty index on the other hand is flying high, and we'll tell you why most of those realty stocks are in focus in a short while from now as we begin taking you through all the stocks that are buzzing in trade, isn't it, Ankita?
Absolutely, Cheryl. Good day coming in before the long weekend starts.
Oh, absolutely. I missed that part. Maybe that's the cheer also coming in for the markets and over here as well.
Absolutely, Cheryl. Well, viewers, then let's get started with the stocks that are buzzing away in trade. And for that, we are joined by Sneha Seth, who's the Senior Analyst from Angel One. And on the research side, we are joined by Ashesha and Snehi with us from the team.
I believe Gaurav.
Gaurav and Ashesha, I believe. I beg your pardon. But let's get started with the stocks then. First up is Bharat Dynamics. Well, this one is, up and away in trade. In fact, since morning, it has been up a good 2%, currently trading with the gains, almost 2% in trade today. Well, it is on the back of a couple of news flows. First is that shares of Bharat Dynamics, the board has approved approved a stock split for the company and an interim dividend as well. And the company said that the board is approving the splitting of one existing stock of face value of 10 into two equity shares of face value of 5. Now, the record date for the stock split will be announced after getting approval from stakeholders for the stock split through a post-ballot electrical voting process. Now, the post-ballot notice and e-voting instructions will be sent to stakeholders who have already sold, shares till date, and the cutoff date is going to be March 22nd. Now, this, if you look at the kind of move this multi-bagger has given, in the last, 1 year it has given stellar gains, 3 years, 375%, and the stock split is a proof that the stock is doing very well, and of course it will be available for cheaper prices for the investors who want to get into the stock as well. Also, they have announced an interim dividend which is going to be of 8.85 per equity share, and April 2nd has been fixed as the date for the record date for the interim dividend. And also a small news coming again, Ms. G. Gayatri Prasad is also going to be the Chief Financial Officer, and he's going to be the Chief Financial Officer with effect from 21st of March. So a couple of news flows coming in on Bharat Dynamics, and that's the reason why Bharat Dynamics is in focus today.
Absolutely. A couple of news flow, and Bharat Dynamics, like Ankita said, has been a stock that has seen great outperformance of late. But let's bring on board Sneha. Sneha, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now, and let's talk about the first stock that you're tracking for us, and that is MCX. How is this one looking on the charts to you? Because yes, this was also marred by news flow. A lot of news events were at play when you talk about MCX in particular. But when you look at the charts, how is the future looking like?
If we look at the chart structure, we have seen a correction wherein this counter has been correcting from 3,850 odd levels, and it has been hovering around the 89 EMA for quite some time. And it's been second session wherein we are seeing some buying interest coming in. So I believe the upward move may continue, and we may head towards at least 3,450 odd levels. So if someone is looking to enter this counter, they can go ahead and long this counter with a strict stop loss of 3,225.
That is MCX for you, but let's talk about the IT sector in particular. Like I mentioned in the market also, chat as well, Ankita, the IT sector is under immense pressure in trade today. Is not particularly with domestic issues, is what Accenture has done overnight actually. Accenture cut its fiscal 2024 revenue forecast as well as EPS view as well, and that kind of dashed the hopes of demand recovery coming in from most of these Indian IT players. On back of that, you saw Nifty IT index fall approximately 3% on an intraday basis. Like I mentioned, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, LTI Mindtree, all of them are actually a part of the decline that is coming in the Nifty index as well. You have a couple of brokerage notes that's coming in, one coming in from Ambit Capital, where they are saying that despite Infosys as well as TCS posting really good January results of Q3 earnings, sparking the hope of a revival in demand from banking and financial services, that's the BFSI's clients, especially in the US key market, after over a year of clients cutting budgets or delaying or even cancelling contracts. But Accenture actually coming ahead and chopping its revenue growth forecast to 1 to 2 or 3% from earlier 2 to 5%, pours water on the rebound narrative. So that kind of commentary sums it all. In fact, the company's indication of a pullback in the smaller deal persisting, more constraints on the client spending, slow decision makings are key negatives. That's just one brokerage note that has come in that I spoke about. You have everyone talk about exactly this, how this has actually dashed hopes of demand recovery.
Absolutely, IT Pack taking it on the chin as of today. But moving on to a segment that has done really well, and that's the Rail RVNL, the stock that you've picked out from us from the Railway Pack. Sneha, tell us, in the last 1 month, we've seen a bit of a correction coming in this stock. Tell us, is this time to buy into this?
Yes, it is. In fact, we have also recommended a buy in Angel One. So this counter, if you see on a chart structure, it has corrected decent, and from the it has a strong support around 25 to 20 or so, and from there only this counter has been recovering. It has managed to cross the 20 dem on the daily chart today. So I think if someone is willing to go long, they can go ahead with a strict stop loss of 237, and one can expect a target around 278 and also and above levels even.
All right, let's move on, Ashesha. Let's talk about Amber Enterprises. This one is shining a bit bright in trade today, and what's the reason behind that?
Well, yes, CLSA has upgraded Amber Enterprises to buy from their earlier outperform rating. They've also gone ahead and hiked their target price to 4,300 versus their earlier target price of 4,130. Remember, the stock currently trades at 3,560 odd levels, which means they see nearly 21% upside even after the run-up that we have seen today. Remember, the stock has corrected nearly 8 to 10 odd percent in the last 1 odd month, and they believe that the stock correction is now overdone. They're very positive on the prospects of the company going forward. New segments will be a key to watch, is what they've said in their report. Execution on electronics, mobility and large appliances will be the key to watch. So on the back of this upgrade that has come in from a CLSA with a target price of 4,300, we have that stock holding up in trade nearly 4.5% higher as we speak.
All right, moving on. Sneha, coming to you, then you picked up BPCL for us. In the last 6 months, it has given some good returns, but in the last 1 month, we are seeing a bit of a consolidation coming in there. Time to get into this one?
Yes, if you see BPCL, the counter has given a very strong run. If you see the weekly chart as well, the charts are very good. There was a hurdle around 400 odd zone, and we have seen a smart breakout from those levels, and it has even touched 680 and above levels. Now it has corrected a bit, and I think it has been recovering from a very strong support around 550 odd zone. So I think we may see a follow-up buying coming in, which can bring this counter at least towards the 640 odd zone. So I would recommend buying this counter with a strict stop loss of around 584.
All right, moving on. Gaurav, let's talk about Skipper then, and why is this particular stock in focus today?
Well, yes, Skipper is in focus because as per our sources, a large order is going to come for the company. So as per our sources, the order is going to be in a transmission segment, and the size of the order is going to be somewhere around 500 crore levels. Talking about the company specific levels, if you talk about the order book of the company, it is already at an all-time high of around 6,000 crore levels, and 41% of the book is basically coming from the transmission and distribution segment. Now, if we also look at some of the activities that have been done by the company, recently board approved fundraise of 200 crore rupees via rights issue, and at the same time we have also seen promoters buying back the shares. They have almost bought back 1.14 lakh shares recently, and on the back of this we should definitely keep an eye on Skipper, because if we also look at the share price, it is up almost 11%, and this is the second day in a row where the share has shown a sharp rally. So that is why this stock is definitely going to be in focus.
All right, so that is skipper for you, but let's shift focus. Let's talk about DB Realty and what that particular counter is doing in today's trading session. Early morning, the stock saw a sharp uptick of approximately 2.5% or so. Now it has given up all of those gains, trading flat, in fact, with a negative bias. They've said that the issue with lender has been resolved without any liability. Bank of India will withdraw insolvency proceedings and other legal actions against DB Realty and its associate firm, that is Pune Build Tech, after the lender reached a one-time settlement with the builder. This is what they told the exchanges. Remember, earlier Bank of India had invoked the corporate guarantee given to DB Realty for a loan availed by Pune Build Tech, and the bank and Pune Build Tech now have agreed to file consent terms with the Bankruptcy Appellate Tribunal, that's the NCLAT. This is what DB Realty said, and I quote, they're saying that this is a very positive development as a long pending issue between the Bank of India and the company stands resolved without any liability. So on back of that, you saw the stock see an uptick of as much as 3%, Ankita, no doubt. Now it's given up all of its gains, exactly.
Yes. All right, a bit of a programming note then. As the end of the financial year approaches, it becomes essential to make well-informed decisions about tax-saving investments before the 31st of March deadline. Well, Anand Rathi Wealth's Deputy CEO Feroz Aziz talks about how to save tax on gifting your investments. Let's go across and listen in.
When you have a family of 2, 3, 4, and Indian families are not small families by any stretch of imagination, there could be some people in the family who are still not earning. Like if you have a child who's a major, 18-year plus, you can gift your investments, especially the debt investments, to your child who is above 18 years of age. The debt investments in India, especially debt mutual funds, are taxed at the highest tax slab if you are in that tax slab. So if you have a family member, your child who's not earning currently and is studying or she is studying, if you gave your debt funds, gifted your debt funds, the clubbing of income does not hold good. So you can get a tax advantage, and up to 15 lakhs of gain in a particular financial year is going to be very low on tax, as little as 10-12% in the new tax regime.
Alright, here's another note for all of our viewers. We are back with the latest edition of Times Now Summit. Over the years, Times Now Summit has been championing pertinent national agenda points where the India's leadership, leading thinkers as well as national influencers come together to define the action plan for India's progress. Themed India Unstoppable this year, we will focus on charting India's remarkable journey and its increasing influence on the global stage. So join us on the 27th and the 28th of March in New Delhi and watch the who's who of political corridor share their views. So do stay tuned with us for all the highlights and all the action as the action begins here only on Times Network. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. Let's talk about more stocks that are moving in trade. Let's talk about Dr. Lal PathLabs, and that particular counter is in focus in today's trading session, seeing uptick of as much as 1.7% or so. UBS has come out with a note where they're saying that the company has potential to beat management's EBITDA margin guidance of about 26 to 27%. What UBS is saying, they believe that it would reinvest any additional margin into the growth opportunities. Remember that the company currently has about 900 crore rupees in cash, and UBS estimates the company to report about 33% CAGR to about 2,800 crore rupees by FY28. What else UBS is saying is that they believe that Lal PathLabs has potential to increase the EBITDA margin by about 250 to 300 basis points in the same period if it maintains the current rate of investment. They're also expecting steady pricing environment to aid in steady margins and revenue growth. Therefore, they're maintaining a buy stance, setting a target of 2,900 rupees per share, and the stock now is recovered. It's at the day's highest point, Ankita.
Absolutely, Cheryl. But we'll move on to the stock that Sneha has picked out for us now. Apollo Tyres is what you have picked out for us. Sneha, a bit of a correction, consolidation coming in the last 1 month for this one. What are you penciling in for the charts for this counter?
See, overall, this counter has given a strong move and then it was consolidating for quite some time. We have seen a decent correction in last couple of weeks, in fact last 2 weeks. But the way it has recovered recently, it has taken it has a very strong support around 440 odd levels, and from there only this counter has been recovering. So I think considering all the auto space and the way they are showing strength, I think Apollo Tyres is the one which I would like, and I would suggest going long. One can keep a strict stop loss around say 454 and can go long for the targets of say 987, 988. That zone can be expected.
All right, moving on to the other counter, which is locked in the upper circuit as of now, with trading with the gains of 5% as we speak. Well, that is IREDA. The company has announced that a board meeting is scheduled for the 28th of March to discuss a borrowing plan that is amounting to almost 24,200 crore rupees, for the financial year 2024 to 25. Now, this borrowing encompasses raising funds via bond issuance, term loans, commercial paper, and other means from both domestic and international markets. And in the back of that, you can see the stock, Cheryl, it's locked in the upper circuit of 5%.
Absolutely, that's a great day coming in for IREDA. But Sneha, let's talk about Adani Ports. Do you think there are better times ahead coming in for Adani Ports going ahead? No doubt this one was among the first of the Adani group of counters which saw recovery, a lot of bullishness coming in on this particular stock when it comes to the fundamentals and the progress going ahead. But on the charts, are you also seeing that sort of a bullish outlook?
Yes, if you see, the chart structure was quite good. In fact, recently what we saw correction on March 12 and on 13th of March. Apart from that, if you see, after that, we have seen a strong comeback in this counter. Then there was some consolidation, but again today, this counter is almost up by 2%. I think we may again head towards the record high, that is around 1350 plus levels. So I would recommend going long in this counter. One can maintain a strict stop loss around 1251 and can go long.
All right, coming to you, Ashesha, Prestige Estate is what you've picked out for us. That is one of the top sectoral gainers for Nifty Realty. And, in fact, the stock is just continuing with the gain since morning. It is up and away 4.5% in trade. Do tell us what's the news flow.
Well, yes, the stock is up nearly 4.5%, and this after the company said that they've acquired nearly 62.5 acres of land parcel in NCR region. Project will be a blend of residential, educational, retail and recreational space with gross development value of about 10,000 crores. The area is spread over about 10 million square feet, and the cost of acquisition of this land stands at about 468 odd crores. The project will be launched within the next 2 quarters and will be completed over the next 4 years. Now, analysts say that the company had announced its intent to enter into the NCR market in its earnings call, and Prestige has a presence in this market through several under construction hotel projects. So now with this, it would make the company a pan-India player and will help the company expand into the Delhi NCR region. So on the back of this acquisition that the company has done of about 62.5 acres in NCR, the stock is gaining in trade today, much like other real estate players. The stock is gaining nearly 4.5%.
All right, coming to you then, back again, Sneha, how is Hero MotoCorp looking to you on the charts? Because this one also had hit its record high levels with the rest of the auto companies or major two-wheeler companies, but then it has not seen that great move over the last 1 month or so. Where do you see it headed now?
See, if we check the chart overall, in the weekly chart, if we see, it's been third week wherein this counter has been stuck in a range wherein on the higher side 4,720 is the resistance, and on the lower side the support can be seen around 4,450 odd zone. So this is the range, but I think this the kind of recovery what we have seen, and especially with today's move wherein this counter is almost up by 3.5%, any closing above this resistance zone 4,720.25, we may see an up move towards the record highs again. So that is the level to watch out. I think someone who's already holding a long position can carry forward this position, and we are expecting it to surpass this resistance zone. So this is a buy for us. Anyone holding it can continue to hold it for the target of say 4,900 plus levels.
All right, coming to you, Gaurav, then Gensol Engineering, that's what you picked out for us. It's locked in upper circuit at 5%. I believe it is on the back of an order win. Do take us through the details.
Well, yes, Gensol Engineering is in focus because the company has now secured another prestigious order from solar PV segment in Maharashtra, and the size of the order is going to be somewhere around 520 crores. Now, while describing the order, company has said that this is actually the largest ever turnkey EPC order that they have got in terms of size as well as in terms of value. And this order is coming up from a leading power generation utility in Maharashtra. So the completion period of the order is 450 days. And if we talk about the stock performance specifically, from the past 5 days, we have seen the stock performance have been at the upper level, I mean at the 5% level for the last 4 out of 5 sessions. And that is why this stock is definitely going to be in focus, because this stock is showing some kind of upside which is phenomenal for the last 5 days.
Mouse cover.
All right, so that is Gensol Engineering, which is locked in the upper circuit above 5%. But that's not all. We have some more stocks to discuss on the other side. We'll be back after this short break.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.